The Gen Z gender war. Huh?
Gen Z is currently at war,
I
but not the
am?
kind of war being fought
Am I
with
Gen
weapons.
Z? What the fuck, Gen? I don't know shit about gens. What? 2001, what gen? I am Gen Z. Okay. I didn't know.
Or bombs, but
Hang on, let me turn this up a little bit.
something far more
You're a
dangerous.
millennial, aren't you? No. I'm not 30. I'm 23. Millennials are like Asmin.
Feelings. We're
Well,
in the middle of
feelings.
an ongoing.
Oh.
Gen Z is currently at war,
Hang on.
but not the kind of war being fought with weapons or bombs, but something far more dangerous. Feelings. We're
Feelings. I'll be honest, whenever somebody like is talking about how they're upset or not that they're upset, that they're offended by something, I'm like always, "Oh, shut up, you pussy." I I if you are so offended that you go and start complaining to other people that you're just so offended and you can't be in this space anymore and you want this space to change, I'm just like, shut up. Who raised you to be such a pussy? It's just, your parents have failed you. The same bot, like how kick, come on, man. I'm getting the same bots over and over. What the heck? I beat you, moderator. I beat you to the bot. Okay.
in the middle of an ongoing divide between men and women that's only getting worse. Women say it's men's fault the world is the way it is today, and men are saying the same thing right back. And the biggest battlefield this war is being waged on is social media. We're in the trenches of the TikTok algorithm, and the fighting continues on the Twitter timeline. And this has been happening for a while now.
I like this dude's editing style. This is the first video I've seen of this dude.
Sadly, none of the commentary around it has been productive. No one is actually trying to understand the issue. It's just one side trying to tell the other that they're wrong. People are constantly doubling down and turning
I'm trying so hard to listen to him talk while looking at the pictures and while reading the text. I'm having a hard time. My ADHD is going wild right now.
Action between men and women into a pointless power struggle.
Okay.
Drama is heating up on Love Peninsula. All right, I'm gonna just holler at your sister then. Oh, really? My sister? I mean, yeah, she looked better. Oh my God, you were so... I can't stand him. He's so toxic. I mean, honestly, I kind of agree with him. She really did him dirty. Are you serious? He literally manipulated her. Okay, but she was flirting with that other guy in the hot tub. That was before they were a couple. This is the problem with men. You guys never understand women. Well, women are always the ones making it complicated. Oh, so it's about women now? Well, you made it about men.
Using Fern and oh my God, I forgot his name. Oh, frick. Because I think they argue a lot in the show.
You know what? You should sleep on the couch tonight. I'm not sleeping on the couch. This is my house. Gen Z is a generation that is constantly battling loneliness, mental health struggles, and a general...
Yeah. Loneliness is bad right now. Every time you see like, oh my God, there was this one post where this like attractive Asian girl posted her first picture going to work, and the entire internet just blew up, man. Just people in the comment section just with Ryan Gosling gifs under it, and it's so sad. People dating ChatGPT. Yeah, it's crazy.
Lack of community, and constantly fighting each other isn't making it any better. We're in this weird spot where we have a bunch of men who hate women but also want to date women, and a bunch of women who hate men but also want to date.
I don't think that they hate each other. It's just that they've had bad experiences with the opposite gender that just left a sour taste in their mouth, and they're just holding a grudge. It's not that they hate, but hang on, I'm trying to think for a second of how to explain it better. So let's say a dude gets cheated on, or a girl gets cheated on, and all of a sudden they're just so against men and so against women, and it's just because nobody has morals anymore, and it's just relationships aren't sacred anymore, and there's just so many underlying problems that could explain it. I don't think it's just a simple men against women, and it's been happening for ages, but I think it's just so many things have led up to certain things, like young men being treated as nerds, I guess. Like there was a lot of CNN coverage. I think it was CNN talking about how young men are useless and stuff like that. And then you have shows like The View saying men are useless and crap like that. And that just radicalizes dudes. That's probably what helped radicalize a lot of people towards the right. A lot of young men. People are applying their experiences to others and becoming cynical. Yeah.
8 men. So everything is just extremely hostile all the time.
What are your opinions on Labubus? I didn't even know those things existed. I was crazy. I don't understand it. A lot of people spend money on that.
The weird part, though,
ADHD.
is that each side swears that they have it worse than the other, when in reality, we're facing a lot of the same problems. A lot of men talk about a male loneliness epidemic and say that it's difficult for them to approach women, but many women are also dealing with loneliness and feel uncomfortable and awkward when they interact with men. But instead of coming together, everyone just blames each other. Male loneliness is being branded as a male loser epidemic.
Yeah.
And people are trying to make their exceptions to who deserves to feel lonely.
That's what I was talking about. CNN, they branded it as a male loser epidemic instead of a male loneliness epidemic.
I know it's easy to pretend that loneliness...
I'm gonna be honest. I'm having a really hard time watching this video because I'm trying to listen and look at what's happening and then read this. There's so many things happening, and I'm having a hard time.
Only happens to people we don't like, but a lot of people are out there struggling. Drawing lines where they don't belong only takes our focus away from the real issue. Gen Z as a whole are struggling. That's what this entire thing is about.
Not only drawing lines where they don't belong, but drawing lines that don't exist. So like a while back ago, this is an old one, but the gender pay gap. The reason that it was like they thought that women were getting paid less is they didn't take it from the same job. They took it from so many different jobs and then compared it together. And most high-paying jobs are jobs that men do, like working on an oil rig, underwater welding. Those are some of the most high-paying jobs in the world. Is a woman going to do that job? No. I don't think I've ever seen a woman working on an oil rig other than being like a supervisor or like a consultant or something like that's not the physical labor. Because on oil rigs, it gets dirty and it's you have to work for hours. They were comparing jobs dominated by men to regular jobs that you would find women in, so the numbers were skewed. Yeah, they weren't doing it appropriately. They weren't taking it, so like if we have a woman working at McDonald's, she's the cashier, and the cashier next to her is a man. They didn't take their pay and then compare it. It was stupid. It was a reach, and they wanted something to bitch about, so they were just creating things.
Women have the idea that all men want to do them harm, and men have the idea that
the bear. Which one would you rather be in the forest alone with, a man or a bear?
Women are evil demons who want to traumatize them. And to be honest, there's a lot of credit to those feelings. Young people especially.
I think a lot of young men look at women and... So, okay, let's see. I want to say this without sounding like a piece of shit. So, if a woman has a high body count, most men don't want anything to do with you. I'm gonna be honest. I'm being real. Most young men, they're romantics. I'm just being honest. A lot of them are romantics, and they want to find their forever someone. And if you have a high body count, that's a very big turnoff to them. And it probably goes both ways. Maybe. I don't know if it goes both ways. But I know it's a thing for men. Somebody with a high body count, male or female, are considered high risk. Yeah, it's been proven. I remember this. It's been proven if you've slept with more people, the more people you sleep with, the harder it becomes to fall in love with somebody and then stay in love with somebody. It's an actual proven study. I don't think I can find it, but if you search it up, you will be able to find it, I'm sure. But yeah, that's a proven study. The more people that you sleep with, the harder it becomes to fall in love and settle down with someone. And I think overall, people just don't want somebody with a high body count. That's just gross. It's stupid. And yeah, it's common. I think it's common belief that it should be sacred. So yeah, I assume it's because you start comparing them to everyone you've been with. Maybe. I don't know.
Are very vulnerable to violence and harm in their relationships.
I'll ruin your life.
There are dangerous people out there, and it's important.
To be fair, there are men out there who actively seek out those types of women who will ruin them.
That we're cautious about who we trust to be in our lives. But I don't think it's healthy for us to constantly live in fear of each other either. But because men and women don't talk, we automatically assume the worst about each other. However, despite this, Gen Z is still longing for connection. Both men and women are still seeking compassion.
I need to turn on the AC. It is like 100 degrees in here. Oh, frick. What the hell just happened to my microphone? It broke. What the fuck? I need a new boom arm. This boom arm sucks. Oh, man. Okay, I'll fix it after stream.
With one another, but nobody knows how to do it anymore. There's a lot of politics involved in dating now, and a lot of it is the result of negative experiences on both ends. Many women have had a lot of negative experiences with men on an individual level.
Everybody has had negative experiences. I've been cheated on. I think a lot of men, I think almost everyone has probably experienced some form of cheating or something like that, and it's just left a bad taste in their mouth. It left a bad taste in my mouth, and I haven't been in a relationship since, and I don't really want one right now.
Which causes them to be more wary of men in general. They recognize potentially problematic behaviors in guys.
Oh yeah, the T app. Oh my god, that was something that happened recently. So stupid. So this app, it was created, I think, by a woman, or I think it was by a woman. It could have been created by a man. It would have been so funny if it was created by a dude. It was an app where women could post pictures of men and then signal whether it was a green flag or if that dude was either a green flag or a red flag. And they could dox the men on this site and just say, like, their experiences with the men or something like that. And it was it was crazy. Within a week, that site was taken down and everybody on it was like doxxed and stuff, and it was like the most liberal rainbow hair people that you would have imagined being on that site. It doxed men on dating sites. Yeah. And I think a woman one happened, but I don't remember much about that one. I think someone made a parody of it, and I think the exact same thing happened where they got doxxed.
And as a way to protect themselves, distance themselves from men. And many men have also dealt with women who have genuinely tried to do harm to their lives, reputations, and mental health as well, which causes a lot of men to be discouraged from approaching women entirely. And before I continue,
you see like the women in like gyms and stuff, and they're always recording, and then you got this one man who like quickly glances over to see them exercising and then glances back to what they're doing. And then they go on Twitter and like complain about this dude looking at them. It's just, you're just asking for trouble, and you're I think that's just like some form of attention seeking or something.
Speaking as a man who has a primarily male audience, we have to recognize that when it comes to these dangers, women are just a bit more vulnerable than we are. Men can be victims of a lot of the same things that women face. I, unfortunately, have experienced it myself. But we live in a world where women are the ones put in danger more often. It's something to keep in mind because I remember having a conversation with a female friend once.
I have given up trying to read the text. I'm just looking at the pictures and just trying to listen to him. I'm not reading the text anymore. My brain was going overloaded trying to do that. They go there half dressed and complain that men are looking at them. Yeah, it's like you put on a freaking tube top or a crop top and you're going around in the streets and people are looking at you. You're like, why the fuck are people looking at me? When you have a big "look here" sign posted to your chest.
Put things into perspective for me. It's so hot this summer. I've barely been able to go outside and take a walk.
I agree with that.
The weather's crazy. That's why I go on walks at night. You go on walks at night? Yeah, it's so much better.
I would love to go on walks at night, but my neighborhood has a curfew, and if you get spotted after, like, I think 12, you like get pulled over by the police and like inspected and stuff and then like taken home. I'm like, damn, man, I hate living in a neighborhood.
It's not as hot and it's nice and quiet. You should really give it a try. So you think I should go outside and walk around at night? Yeah, what's the problem? Yeah, a 21-year-old woman outside alone at night. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, yeah, you get it now? You're scared of the dark. No, even outside of relationships, it seems like men and women can't even be friends anymore. So instead of talking to each other, we turn to social media to tell us about each other instead. And sadly, this only makes it worse. The problem is that social media exaggerates minor issues and makes them seem bigger than what they are. Yeah. So we're constantly living under the pressure of unrealistic expectations and made up scenarios.
I do understand that. Like some of the stuff that I talk about, it's not honestly a big deal. Some of the stuff that we covered earlier today, that's a big deal. But some stuff that I cover, not really a big deal. Like it doesn't. It's not a big deal. And I think videos, if you like see 100 videos on the same topic, it kind of explodes it and makes it seem like it's more of a big deal than it actually is, when it's honestly not, and it probably won't affect anybody. But yeah,
that have a lot
like
of
the restricted mode on YouTube right now. I honestly don't think it's gonna affect that many people, because when I went to my YouTube, it was turned off. You have to physically turn it on. So, and I think enough people have talked about it by now that everybody probably knows about it and has turned it off. So I think it's probably just will pass over and will be forgotten about.
Young adults walking around with a lot of personal insecurity, and those insecurities make us hypersensitive to any interaction with the opposite sex. Sometimes I'm on my phone, and the way some people respond to things on social media, you'd think they killed someone.
Some people are so crazy on Twitter, dude. I saw one. It was under the we covered earlier today. It was about the kid who covered his friend during the shooting, and somebody posted a Bible verse. Basically, I think it was somewhere in John or something. Basically congratulating that kid or celebrating what that kid did. That's what the Bible verse was. It had nothing to do with God or Jesus or anything. It was just a simple verse, and there were so many comments under it just raging that this verse was under that post and stuff. And I was just like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you getting pissed off about this? It's just congratulating this kid and being happy that this kid is still here with us. It's crazy, the things that people get mad at and then start to bitch over. They need to go outside and touch a little bit of grass. I touched grass yesterday, and now I'm sick of grass.
Just for me to go through the thread and see the most harmless post ever. Even the most simple disagreements end up...
What did that just say? What did that just say? I saw peeing out of your butt. What was it? There's still time to delete this.
To go through the
die.
Thread and see the most...
Wait, so girls don't be peeing out their butt for real? Hashtag today I learned. This isn't real. You can't fool me. There's no way this is real. Please don't be real.
Most harmless post ever. Even the most simple disagreements end up becoming commentary on both men and women at large.
What? Are people complaining about skinny jeans? I love skinny jeans, man. Yeah, I just don't think they look... I don't think guys look good in skinny jeans.
Even the most simple disagreements end up becoming commentary on both men and women at large.
Masculinity. I agree. If you can't wear skinny jeans, you're not a man.
Throwing everyone in the boxes they don't fit in. And now the things that make us unique are instead used to criticize and classify us. From our dating preferences, sexuality, career choices, and even our hobbies and interests. There's no room for individuality anymore. It feels like everything you say and do is judged against every other person.
Yeah,
so if you're too
people
different,
are so judgmental, especially on platforms like Twitter. And I've even gotten some comments lately. I posted a Kai video about the Kai drama that was going on with Twitch and stuff. I took down the video because I didn't like my take on it. But that video did get some like bad comments on it of people being pissed off that I was supporting Kai. And I don't care. I don't give a fuck what people think. I just didn't like my take on the situation. I was more giving my opinion on Kai than what people were complaining about. So I took down the video, and I didn't like it. I didn't like my take on it. But yeah, this happens everywhere, and it's so tiring after a little while.
You're being performative. But if you're too similar, then you're just like all the others. A man who has any criticism about any woman for any reason is labeled an incel. But
a misogynist, incel, sometimes a womanizer, depending on what you're talking about. It's crazy. What did Kai do? We're not gonna talk about it. Nothing happened, and it was just a small little bit of drama.
A woman who has anything positive to say about a man in any context ever is labeled a pick-me. Obviously.
Oh yeah. Freaking Shu and so many other VTubers that act like publicly support men, they get called by pick-me's by women like every single day. Shu probably being the worst of them because she's been like doing this for like 10 years or something like that, and she gets called a pick-me by every day by women who are just the most toxic. I can't believe I just said toxic. They're the most batshit crazy of them.
Not everyone is like this, but now all of our interactions have become dominated by fear. Women are fearful of men for, honestly, a lot of very valid reasons. You can't always tell which guys are gonna go crazy over a polite rejection. And a lot of men are afraid because many women have made it clear that they don't want to be approached. And for the men who at least try to be respectful, the last thing they want to do is make women uncomfortable. It feels like we're in a stalemate where
yeah. I think I've been in public a couple times and like, you know, you get like Shu is married, bruh. Yeah, Shu is married. Anyways, so you have like a cute girl walk past you and you like glance at them and they glance back and you're like, shit. And you look the other way and it happens all the time. And I think I even suffer from this.
If you make one wrong move, it's over. And again, I don't want to make it seem like bad things don't happen. They do. I'm just saying that for Gen Z, we're putting ourselves under some unrealistically high stakes for every interaction. Oh, are you giving out free ice cream? Yep. We got chocolate and vanilla. Cool.
You got Katsuma here. Is he gonna be the bad guy? Is that what you're gonna do?
I can pick anyone I want? Sure. You can have this nice vanilla cone. It has a great personality and is very respectful. And while some people think vanilla is boring, I think it can make you really happy if you give it a chance. Okay. What about chocolate? Oh, well, chocolate is good, I guess. But while on the surface it seems more fun, it's not really the type of ice cream you want to commit to long term, honestly. Well, I don't know about all that, but chocolate is my favorite flavor. So I'll take that one, please. Okay, well, consider this. Wouldn't your mom be happier with you bringing home a nice, safe vanilla cone? Oh, my
We
mom
just
likes
brought
chocolate
raisin
too.
to
Can
this
I get an
shit?
extra
What's
one for
going
her?
on?
You know what? You don't get any ice cream, actually. That's the problem with you women. You never want to give a good vanilla ice cream a chance. That's why you're going to be 40 with no ice cream at all. What was up
Why'd you pick Katsuma to do that? There's nothing wrong with Katsuma.
with that guy? I don't know. I guess he just really likes vanilla. I think a big thing holding us back is that a lot of Gen Z are dealing with commitment issues and insecurity. But these commitment issues aren't coming from us having a lot of options, but rather everyone is afraid of being taken advantage of. It's why ghosting has become so popular for Gen Z, because when it comes to dating, people think their feelings are the only ones that matter. It's true that you should put yourself first in your relationships, but it doesn't mean that you should disregard everyone else.
Yeah.
There's another real human being
A
on the
relationship is a partnership. I think that's literally the definition of it.
other side, and they have feelings too. But since we're in this war, the other side isn't seen as a potential partner, but as an enemy to be conquered. There's this bitterness between us where it seems like some of us enjoy seeing.
I'm not. I'm going to go crazy, dude. I've gotten. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've gotten 8 bots in my Kick stream. What the hell? Over such a little bit of time too. I've been streaming for 2 hours. What the frick?
The other side lose. Men complain about experiencing feelings of loneliness, and women applaud that and say they deserve it. And women
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there who like. Okay, so there was a post that like showed off like a Spy X Family. You know how the dad and the mom and you know Anya the child, they were all in the kitchen, like cooking dinner together. And under the post it said, "This is what men really want." And that post got so much hate from women. It was the most batshit crazy thing. And it was just awful. And that's honestly what most men just want. They just want something like that.
complain about not being able to find a date, and men celebrate that. We're all struggling, but because we see each other as enemies, we can't even respect each other for trying. There are people still fully fighting this gender war while being in a relationship. Hey, you still coming to happy hour with us? Yeah, I'll be there in a bit. Just
Men
bringing
want
my
love?
boyfriend
Really? No way.
some lunch. You're making food for a man? Girl, it's not 1952 anymore. Why are you doing that? Because he's my boyfriend and I love him? Yeah, but you work those long 12-hour shifts at the hospital and you're still doing all this for him. What does he do for you? Well, yeah, I do work long hours, but when I'm at work, guess who's making me dinner, or walking my dog, or picking me up from the hospital at 4 a.m. when I get off? 50-50 in a relationship isn't just about money.
I couldn't imagine having a wife that worked at a hospital and have to pick her up at 4 a.m. God, that would suck.
Yeah, girl, I know. I'm just looking out for you. Don't want to have to hit another ex-boyfriend with my car. Wait,
I'm
what?
such a bad morning person. I suck at mornings. I'm a night owl, and I've been waking up early to do this streaming, and it's oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Just called our table. Hurry up with your housewife duties. Whatever. I'll be there soon. I think for many of us in Gen Z, we're dating for the utility and not because we actually like them. A lot of guys want a girlfriend because they want emotional support, affection, and likely a sexual partner too. And women often want something similar. And while these are completely valid expectations to have in a relationship, they shouldn't be your only reasons for dating. There's a difference between loving someone and loving what they do for you.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't actually know what
Some
they're
people want a slave, and you're not gonna get very far doing something like that. Then you're gonna just get toxic people.
even looking for in a partner outside of these things. Some people out there are shallow, but it's probably because they themselves also don't really know what they're looking for in a partner. But just because some people have an opinion, it doesn't mean that everyone thinks that way. A lot of times you end up turning yourself down before anyone else gets the chance to. I know that a lot of men feel overlooked by women, which is why I think that it's easy for some men to harbor a bit of resentment towards them. You're probably trying your best to put yourself out there just to not even get rejected, but completely ignored. Despite your best efforts to stand out, you feel totally invisible, which I think feels even worse than rejection. I have my own experiences with this. In college, there was this girl who had a crush on my roommate, and one day he told me that she felt like I didn't like her. And I was confused because I had nothing against her, we just didn't talk. The only time she ever interacted with me were to ask about my roommate and what he was doing. So I told her that she never seemed particularly interested in getting to know me. I'm a nice guy, but I don't think anyone enjoys feeling like an accessory to another person, so I just left her alone. Eventually, my roommate ended up getting a new girlfriend, and she stopped talking to both of us. But my roommate's new girlfriend seemed far more interested in getting to know me as a friend, and she was always very inclusive towards me and was always—
It was probably because, you know, you're a part of your roommate's life and y'all are friends, so she wanted to, she's an actual good girl and wanted to, you know, get along with or learn about his interests and friends and stuff. So yeah, she was probably the better girl for him.
He's really respectful, and they're still together to this day.
And she didn't talk shit. Like, have you ever had like somebody who talks shit about your friends behind their back? Just dump them immediately. just it's not worth it, because they'll just backtalk everything that you do and voice their opinions on how you're wrong on absolutely everything, and it's just you shouldn't put up with it. And that's what that girl was doing. And then this girl, she's doing it right.
Who would have thought that someone who treats others with kindness and respect would have a lasting relationship? It's not about just being nice to someone because you like them, but being a pleasant person to be around in general. You don't have to be performative or a pick-me to get attention from people. You just need to get comfortable expressing yourself around people and doing it in a way that doesn't offend others. Being nice isn't a personality. You're more than just a nice person.
I mean, technically being a pick-me probably does get you a little bit more attention, but still.
Anyone can be a vanilla ice cream cone, but some people like sprinkles or caramel or a cherry on top. And yes, this is the second ice cream related analogy I've done on this.
What is this? Why do you have a little herb up here? What the hell? It's ice cream. Get your vegetables out of my ice cream. The bananas can stay. The cherries, no, I don't like cherries.
Channel. It's really hot outside. Another problem stemming from this gender divide are the endless 50-50 debates. So many people are so worried about—
Calm down. Do you just eat a whole mint leaf? Well, if I saw somebody eating just a whole mint leaf, I would think they're insane. They need to be in a mental asylum. They need help.
Being taken advantage of in their relationships, that we've reduced them down to something purely transactional. And this leads to a lot of people—
like, if you ever see somebody like complaining about one gender, it's always the most cringe crap, dude. And it goes for both sides. I'm not talking specifically about women who do it, but men who do it. They're like it's cringy. It's awful. I don't like it.
Acting extremely entitled. A lot of guys out there think that just because they pay for a date that a woman owes them something. And a lot of women have an expectation that men have to prove how serious they are about you through spending money. So there's this weird tug of war where each person is trying to get more while giving less. That's not dating. That's what you do at a garage sale. And it's why acting nonchalant is so popular too. People have the impression that the happier person in a relationship is the one who cares the least. That's not—
I want the girl that doesn't want to go on a date and just sit at home on the couch playing Dark Souls with pizza. That's the perfect date.
How it should be. We should be going band for band with the caring. Chalant contest. Let's see who can care the hardest. I think people are tired of having to clear so many obstacles just to even get to know someone. Nowadays, there's dudes going to other countries just to get dates. Welcome back to Trad and Chad. Today, we're joined by a special guest, a real alpha male. Thanks for having me, guys. A lot of guys are struggling dating Western—
Oh my god. I hate the whole alpha male thing. It's so it's cringy. It's very cringy. Anyone who says they're an alpha male, I can guarantee you they are not. Anyone who says they're an alpha male is automatically disqualified for being an alpha male. It's so stupid, and people actively follow these people trying to actually learn things, and it's like frick, there was one a while back ago. I think it was when I was a kid. There was like this contest that was like being held. No, it wasn't a contest. It was like some giant convention held by alpha males for beta males. And actually a lot of people went to that, and it was so fucking stupid. It's like Andrew Tate. Oh my god,
women. Some people think it's because of their lack of self-awareness and inability to change, but we know it's because of feminism. Absolutely. You can blame anything on women. After your third divorce, you went overseas to find your wife. Could you tell us why more young men should be doing that? It's simple, really. Western women have rights, so it makes them think that their opinions matter. Overseas, the women don't ask stupid questions like, who did you vote for? Or, why are you 35 trying to date an 18-year-old? Yeah, I hate when they ask that. Western women are just
I do agree that that's kind of gross. I don't like that.
Because overseas women appreciate masculinity. So I never have to bother with feminine things.
If someone
like,
is old enough to be your parent, ew. And 35, 18. So my estimate of it is, if anyone is 16 years older than you, that's old enough to be your parent. So that 18, 35, no, it's too old. I don't like it. It's gross, at least to me. That's my opinion.
Emotional maturity or growing and changing as a person. Facts, brother. A good wife should never challenge you on anything ever. She should constantly enable all of your behaviors. Exactly. As an alpha male, I'm already perfect and have no room to grow. Speaking of
I'm so tired
it's time to hear
listening
from
to
this week's sponsor, Blue Rhino Male Enhancement Pills. It's the only blue pill you'll ever need. Because
more
when life gets hard,
that
we get harder.
It will make you magnetic.
Bro, I thought you were done watching these guys. Okay, but he was low-key spitting though. Relationships can be scary because they require a certain amount of vulnerability. And opening yourself up to someone means that you have to trust them not to hurt you, whether that be emotionally or even physically. I can't speak for women here, but for a lot of guys I know, one of their biggest fears in dating is being settled for. No one likes being the safe option, the plan B. So I noticed that a lot of male dating advice tends to be some sort of insurance policy against this. And I understand. When you look at yourself and you know you're not the tallest guy or the hottest guy or the guy with the most money, sometimes you might think, why would she choose me first? A lot of dudes are walking around with that thought in the back of their heads, and not for completely imaginary reasons either. That's
especially when you have women all over the internet demanding 6'4" dudes and $100K salary and shit like that. It's demoralizing to men, and it's also stupid.
Is also one who's deeply insecure. Inside, you don't feel like you'll...
It goes both ways. If a man is like, he's demanding that a woman has double D's, demands that she makes him a sandwich every single day, it goes both ways, and both sides are wrong and both sides are stupid.
Ever meet the absurdly high requirements to date. So you try to become someone you're not, just to get a chance. It's why I think a lot of content creators who are women...
There we go. Yeah, and Elena. I didn't bring up Elena because I didn't think a lot of people would know her more than Shu, but yeah, she gets called a pick-me all the time. I love Elena. I watch her all the time.
Are popular. I'm not saying these are all pick-me women who only appeal to men, and I'm not saying their viewers are desperate for female attention. I'm saying that many men are used to hostility from women, and sometimes it can be a good thing to hear a woman on the...
These women who actively come out and say that men deserve love, holy hell. They get so much support from men and so much not support from women. There was one girl, I don't remember her name. It wasn't Kirsty. Although Kirsty did get drama like this for saying she supports women, but there was another girl. It was another VTuber girl, I don't remember her name, but she's tweeted out men deserve love. That was it. That was it. That was the tweet. And she got doxxed, death threats, fucking hate comments all in that post. It was the most crazy thing. That was one hell of a weekend, I'll tell you what. But in the end, it all kind of worked out because it did expand her viewership to more men. Yeah.
The internet, sympathize
The women who hate them are lonely and manless.
with your experience. I think the problem comes when men externalize those feelings and then take it out on women.
This is
Even
your
in
fault.
communities centered around women, their audiences are still mostly men. So sometimes they can become echo chambers that reinforce a lot of the
People who were saying happy Men's Mental Health Month in June were getting that same treatment. I think it was more so because June was originally like a Pride Month or something like that, and people were getting hate for supporting that instead of that. I don't know. It's stupid.
ideas that push women away in the first place. I think for both men and women,
Oh my
we
God.
look for
I don't
support
wanna
from our
read.
peers to help us cope with our struggles in interacting with the other side. But we lack the proper perspective to fully understand the issues they face. Women don't fully understand the depth of the challenges men face, and men are blind to what women experience on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So sometimes we say things that are a bit insensitive to each other's struggles, and that's what keeps pushing us apart. But as bad as things can get sometimes, I don't think Gen Z is completely hopeless. I think the majority of us have all reached the conclusion that dating apps are garbage and honestly a little dehumanizing. Even the companies that claim to give women the power
You know full well a vow of celibacy is not the answer. What the fuck is celibacy? A state of abstaining from marriage and sexual relations. So you be a slut. That's very unattractive.
have been trying to shame them into jumping into the sea of desperate men that they've created. We're starting to desire more sincere connections over convenience. And Gen Z is even willing to put in the extra effort to do so. We just don't know how. So when you're a not creepy guy looking to improve his relationship with women, you might not even know where to start. And I think the first step is
I
understanding.
think if so, I actually know quite a few people who date like cross world in hopes that one day that they'll meet each other, or not really in hopes, but someday that they will meet each other. And I don't think I could do something like that, but I do see it. I see it a lot.
One key concept. Women are people too. I know it sounds simple, but so many guys seem to think that women are a completely different species, which is why a lot of guys seem to have this idea that in order to get a girl,
What the fuck was that? Huh? What?
are a completely different species, which is why a lot of guys seem to have this idea.
I wish men got periods instead of women. Oh yeah, you got like the pick me men too, and they're the most cringe. They'll like be. I saw this one picture. This dude was drinking a cup of coffee. He had like this weird blanket over him, and he had a hat that said women's rights, and he was reading a women's health book out in public, and he was like the most pick me dude. He just looked ridiculous, and it was this is actually a thing. I think there's even a debate for some Democrat men. They side Democrat because they think it will make them look more attractive to women. That statement would make me want to say bless your heart, but not in a good way.
That in order to get a girl, you have to trick her.
Who the hell opens with that? I just sat down.
The problem is, women are smart, oftentimes smarter than you. So being performative isn't really gonna get you anywhere. All right, bro, I got my matcha, my black nail polish, and my Labubu keychain. I'm ready to finally get some girls. Sorry, bro, performative method got patched. Already? But I got matcha patched. Black nail polish? Hard nerve.
I've never
Even
had
the Labubu?
matcha.
Already vaulted, bro. The Labubu method is vaulted? Bro, that was my conversation starter. We need a new meta, bro. These girls catch on quick these days. Bro, being a male manipulator is hard. I'm gonna go back to being myself. Excuse me. Did someone here order a record player and 14 Claro vinyls? Oh, you can just take those back. I won't be needing them anymore. It sounds cliche, but you should genuinely just be yourself. And I know that's hard when social media constantly tells you you aren't good enough, but you don't have to fake being someone you're not just to get women to talk to you. You shouldn't need a meta.
I think that acts as the opposite, and it's more of a women repellent. If you're just pretending to be someone, as long as they're able to see through it.
Just to play the game. That ruins all the fun. What I think we're missing are genuine friendships between men and women. I think if we started talking to each other again, we'd have a better idea of what we both expect from each other. I know a lot of guys don't trust women with their more vulnerable side because they're afraid that women will either use that to hurt them or see them as weak and leave them. But I think in reality, a lot of women are very sympathetic to the male experience. Despite the conversation online,
I think
there
are a lot of women out there who do side with men on this matter.
Value a woman's perspective on a lot of things. It can be very reassuring to hear something positive about yourself from a woman who isn't your mom. However, just as men don't want women to take advantage of our vulnerability, we shouldn't take advantage of theirs. A lot of women who are open to bonding with men—
There are so many crappy dudes out there, and it's not even funny. Every time I meet one, I just want to sock them right in the face, but I don't, because they didn't give me a reason to sock them in the face. But it's disgusting, and they're pigs, and I despise every single one of them. And every single one that I meet, I let them know that I don't like them.
And often have the same issue. As soon as you allow a guy to get close, he decides that he's in love with you. Now it's awkward. If you're a guy trying to become better friends—
You used him. Is it Hermold?
With women, don't be so desperate that you fall in love with any woman who's somewhat nice to you.
Yeah,
sometimes women just want to exist, but they're often in the impossible situation where a guy they thought was their friend ends up confessing to her. And then when she rejects him, he stops talking to her. So you can see how it's difficult for women to become friends with men too. But then the question is, when is it appropriate to talk to a woman you might be interested in? And I won't lie, this is hard because respectfully, women are kind of bad at shooting their shot. Most guys aren't the best either, but women take it to a whole nother level. They either come on way too strong or more often, barely at all. So how was it hanging out with that guy you liked the other day? Did he make a move? It was fine. I just don't think he's interested in me at all. Really? Why do you say that? I mean, I gave him the most obvious sign and he didn't even do anything.
This happens with men all the time. We are just oblivious to that shit. I still lay awake at night thinking of past, like, signals I missed. And I'm just like, fuck. It still keeps me awake at night thinking about that crap.
Hey, it's been hot lately, so I figured I'd stop and get some drinks on the way here. This one's your favorite, right? Oh yeah, I love these. Thank you. Oh, that is so obvious. Men are so dumb. I know, right? Maybe he likes boys. After years of terrible online dating, I think we all agree that we should be a bit more open to approaching people we're interested in. Someone finding you attractive shouldn't be scary or embarrassing. I know a lot of us hate being perceived at all, but you don't have to ask someone to marry you as soon as you meet them. It honestly could just be as simple as asking for an opportunity to get to know someone better casually. And this doesn't only apply to dating, but to friendships too. You're not going to be someone's best friend day one, but maybe extending an invitation to hang out with someone new could be the start. Women aren't the single solution to male loneliness. It starts with us. And men aren't the single solution to women's problems. I know that when you're a young guy who tries his best to be respectful, it can sometimes be hurtful to hear some of the things women say about men. And a lot of guys like to say, not all men. I agree that it's not okay for women to say some of these things too. But
am I the only one who thinks just being nice means you're interested in them? Yes. What? What do you mean? You're only nice to someone if you're interested in them? Huh?
But I also think that it's important that we make an active effort to be a part of the solution. So many guys are afraid of seeming like a—
No. That's not how you be a human being. Bad.
Simp or a pick-me, that they fail to stand up for women when given the opportunity.
The point was, men have some men have a problem where they instantly like fall in love with a woman if they're even somewhat nice to them. That was the point that he was making, and it is a real thing that happens.
I'm not saying you need to be a white knight and swoop in to save a damsel in distress, but you can help women see men in a more positive light on an individual level by doing your best to make sure they feel safe and comfortable around you. I think you'll find that women who trust you will also stand up for you too. I think it's important that we're more open to understanding instead of arguing, which is why I want to say that I didn't make this video because I have the answer to ending this gender war. I just wanted to share my own perspective as a Gen Z guy on what we're facing. I know some people might think that this video oversimplified a lot of things, and you're probably right, but I hope that I can at least help make the conversation a little more productive. And I know that I focused on the male perspective a lot as well. Unfortunately, IP standing up, so I can't speak too in depth about the women's point of view. So I hope that any women out there can also help contribute to the discussion. Maybe some of those creators I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
People love to talk about how Gen Z is
before.
cooked as a generation, but I think people just have a lot to say because we're the first generation growing up with a comment section. But for Gen Z men and women, I don't think we should be on two different teams. We belong on the same team, fighting together against things like loneliness and heartbreak. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter.
I will definitely sub. I loved this video so much. It was so good.